Welcome to Return on Insights, the show where candid conversations with bold founders and leaders spark actionable insights for your business. I'm David Lindover.
And I'm Erin Abatangelo. Every week, we pull back the curtain with leaders who are scaling teams and shaping the future, sharing the insights that create impact far beyond the bottom line.
Discover how high-performing companies build enduring cultures, inspire teams to think bigger, and turn vision into action. If you see storytelling as your strategic advantage, you're in the right place. Welcome to Return on Insights podcast. I'm your host, David Lindover. I'm joined by Joseph Belsanti, a veteran operator with deep experience in corporate marketing and sales enablement. He also ran a successful advisory service, helping founders and organizations recognize critical business and market patterns that often go unnoticed in the day-to-day haste of operations. Today, Joseph's going to explain the unique value advisors bring, from objective evaluation and actionable insights to guiding strategic pivots without the long-term cost of a full-time C-suite hire. Through real-world examples, he illustrates how founders can leverage external expertise to drive sustainable growth, enhance decision-making, and avoid costly mistakes. Welcome to the show, Joseph. Good to have you here.
Thank you, David. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much for the invitation, and I'm humbled to be part of your podcasts. I've viewed some of the other ones with all the great speakers, and I'm truly humbled. Truly humbled.
Thanks, Joseph. So my first question, I'm going to give you the floor. So I'm going to do mostly asking questions, and I'm going to leave you to the thoughtful answers. So how did your career path prepare you for the role of an executive advisor?
My career spans over 30 years across B2B SaaS and vertical software markets, with leadership experience across North America, Asia Pacific, primarily the Aussie region, and EMEA. Over the years, I've led high-performance pragmatic teams to drive real revenue growth and align sales and marketing and managed organizational expansion. And this experience has given me firsthand knowledge in some of the challenges that founders and organizations alike experience, especially around scaling, looking for operational blind spots and strategic decision-making. After consulting with many B2B tech companies, I see patterns everywhere. Gated PDFs that nobody downloads, cold call sequences that get blocked, SDRs calling prospects who really don't want to answer their calls. And where the real damage happens is in marketing budgets that get torched, on vanity metrics that don't convert, sales teams that waste too much time chasing unqualified leads, and sales cycles that get stretched to 18 to 14 months because prospects don't trust them. Zero correlation between marketing spend and actual revenue, and marketing and sales teams that are often at war, blaming each other for why things don't work. And all the while, you get top performers that burn out on tactics that died in 2010.
Wow. We could spend a long time unpacking that answer, Joseph.
But I mean, that's the reality of what I'm encountering during, through my consulting and engagement practice.
Well, we'll definitely have you back to, talk about each one of those separately. For now, I'll move to my next question. So what separates an executive advisor's perspective from that of typical functional executives like CMOs or CFOs?
Great question. The functional executive focuses deeply on a specific domain like sales or marketing, finance, operations. And as an executive advisor, I walk in with a holistic approach across a cross-functional view of the organization. My role isn't to run a department, but to observe the full organization, identify trends and gaps, and challenge assumptions, and provide the founders with the guidance that they're looking for in making decisions that align with the company's broader strategic objectives. Essentially, I'm a fixer. A founder or an executive within an organization has a problem. They're not able to solve that problem internally, and they're looking for an executive advisor who's a fixer, who could come in and assist that CEO or that founder in developing a plan and helping them to either execute or putting the plan together to have it executed internally with appropriate KPIs and metrics around it.
So which business or market patterns do you frequently identify to help founders unlock growth? You probably mentioned some of those in your first answer.
Yeah, because that's what came to mind through my experience and background. I frequently identify misalignments between projected growth and operational execution, such as overstated pipelines, inconsistent KPIs, and early signals that customers' churn may be hidden somewhere within the dashboards that these executives are using in their CRM systems. I also track recurring market patterns, shifts in a buyer behavior and competitive position, and I translate those into actionable strategic insights that those founders or executives could use. I mean, data by itself is nothing unless you could use them to point to specific strategic insights that can be affected. For one example, in a recent engagement, I identified a pipeline inflation issue with one of my clients that gave the founder an overly optimistic view of the revenue forecasts. Rather than introducing micromanagement into the system, I worked with the team, both the sales and marketing teams, to establish clear definitions of what should and should not be included in the pipeline, set consistent standards for evaluating opportunities, and implemented accountability measures for when the deals were repeatedly deferred. This approach served the team to drive autonomy, but also reinforced ownership of what they're putting into that pipeline, and discipline in both sales and marketing activities, ensuring forecasts align with real pragmatic performance. And in another example, identified a growing attrition rate that has become unsustainable, and recommended measures and implemented a process, a procedure, and a plan to reduce that attrition that made things more profitable. Their attrition rate had gotten up to 22%, and it's no longer profitable once you get past that 10 to 11% attrition rate, and they needed to bring that down in a big hurry. And I provided them the plan to do that.
Great examples. And that was my next question. So you answered that one. How do you encourage founders to embrace these external perspectives and adjust their leadership approach? I know that is a real challenge in a lot of situations.
It is. Founderism is something that is very real. And I often encounter founders who have common traits. They will often tell me, I'm the best salesperson the company's ever had. I'm the best marketer the company's ever had. I'm the best developer. And the reality is that they were, until they reach a specific plateau and then need help in getting over that particular plateau. Therefore, I emphasize trust and the value of objectivity. Founders typically, again, within that scenario, live within the details. So I frame insights as pattern recognition rather than criticism. And a pragmatic approach I often use is one that's called pattern-based advisory with measurable micro wins. Rather than telling the founder that something is wrong within their organization, what I do is focus on implementing and identifying and implementing solutions to patterns with operational data, with market behavior, and with team performance that it could indicate various opportunities for improvement within that organization. An example could be, or an example is, in my recent past, the sales pipeline being overstated. And instead of critiquing the team, I took control over the view of the opportunity and the definitions of opportunities and lead qualification, and came out with a more balanced approach to everyone's concern than they aligned with. And over time, the small changes that we made got us objective wins that reinforced trust among the teams, reinforced trust within me, because the deal was I don't go in to manage the departments. I manage by influence. And therefore you need to prove your worth in order to have these individuals within the organization respect you. Everybody from the founders to the salespeople to the marketing people, because you know the way it goes. Oh, here's another guy coming in trying to tell us what to do when we know our market, we know our products, we know our customers, and there's nothing that they can do that could provide us value. So the challenge is to provide that value to the team.
Great answer there, Joseph. I agree. Last question. The top traits founders should look for when selecting an executive advisor.
A lot of that depends on the type of executive advisor you're looking for. If you're looking for somebody to develop or assist you with an exit strategy or strategic growth or complementary M&A type of activity. But in general, founders should be looking for experience across markets and functions to see patterns others may miss. The other quality that they should be looking for is objectivity, ability to challenge assumptions without a bias. And the other important one there when it comes to objectivity, I always tell my clients that I will never lie to them and I will never hide anything from them. The reason behind that is because founders should avoid yes men who come in and just revalidate whatever they're thinking, which sometimes does not really help the situation much. Communication and influence goes hand in hand with that in terms of guiding without authority and influencing without management. Practicality, delivering advice that is actionable, not theoretic, which is a big plus for a lot of founders. They want to know how you can help them and not just the theory behind pipeline management. And the big one, integrity and accountability. Someone who prioritizes the company's long-term success over short-term optics. Someone who will not tell the founders, like I said, what they want to hear, but present them with the brutal facts, substantiated by numbers. I would look for those qualities in somebody who I was looking to partner with and helping me address specific challenges within my business.
Great advice and great insights, Joseph. Thanks so much. We're definitely going to have you back on the show to expand on some of the earlier topics that we discussed. I wish you the best. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, David, and thank you very much. And again, sometimes I've only been known to be short in stature, so thank you for being patient.
Bye for now, Joseph.
Thank you, David.